Andrew, the mood at the protests turned from a festival-like atmosphere over the weekend to something more foreboding, given that we are just hours away from National Day. What is the sense? What is the feel out there? Are people worried about a Tiananmen Square-like crackdown?
No, I don't think they are at all, at least not right now. The atmosphere out there last night was incredible, actually. The tear gas attack was 2 days ago. Last night, the police were basically nowhere to be seen. They let the protesters have their way in 3 parts of the city. And the protesters, unlike the kind of demonstrations we tend to see in Europe or the U.S., they really aren't looking to provoke the police at all. So there was absolutely no violence. It was very festive last night, as a matter of fact. And people seemed to be having a really good time. And the police were really nowhere to be seen. It was very, very calm. And it is today as well.
Tell us about the character of the protest and the character of the protesters. These are university students, high school and college students, but also some of the veterans of the democracy movements in the past, professors, politicians who make up Occupy Central have now joined them, haven't they?
Yeah, this Occupy Central movement had hinted that they were going to begin their occupation of Central tomorrow for the holiday. The students got out ahead of them, and the students are the ones that are really, really bringing the numbers. Occupy said initially that they hoped to get 10,000 people. Last night there were probably more than 100,000 between the 3 different points, and that's mostly because of the energy of the students. What I saw last night when I was out there in the main protest area, it was overwhelmingly young people. The complexion could change a bit more tomorrow because it's a holiday both tomorrow and Thursday. So more people that may have been in their office and might want to participate, might have wanted to participate, may very well be out there tomorrow. And if it stays calm like this, we could see quite a turnout.
Andrew, your description of the past 12 hours as almost a festival-like atmosphere is an obvious contradiction to what we saw 24 to 36 hours ago when there was tear gas. Why did the police change their tactic?
Because I think they saw how miserably it failed and how quickly it turned the public against them. I mean, the Hong Kong police, there's not a lot of resentment toward the police here. This is a very, very low-crime city. There's not a lot of violence. There's very little violent crime. So there's not a lot of antagonism generally with the police. They're kind of seen as civil servants. By firing tear gas, it immediately raised the stakes and increased the tensions and made a lot of people think that those orders must have come from Beijing because the Hong Kong police would never do something like that on their own. That remains to be seen, but it really, really changed the tone and the complexion of the demonstrations. I think they realized their mistake and they quickly backed off.
Yeah, Martin Lee, the founding chairman of the Hong Kong Democratic Party, said as much earlier to us last hour. Mr. Lee also said that the international community has not spoken up in favor of Hong Kong. Who within Hong Kong still has not spoken up in favor of these protests? Who's holding back their support?
I'm not quite so much if it's so much that people haven't spoken out. We saw the White House make a statement. Cameron made a statement in the UK. Other countries have spoken out. But I feel like the pan-Democrats, the Democratic forces here, feel like there hasn't been a vociferous enough response, not just to the protest, but in the whole run-up to the decision by Beijing to kind of vet the candidates for the next election, particularly from the UK. I mean, the UK was involved in the handover. It's, it prides itself on being one of the founding democracies in the West, and they really haven't spoken out all that plainly.
All right, Andrew Davis, thank you so much for joining us your evening, our morning. Andrew Davis of Bloomberg News in Hong Kong.